Hello everyone, I'm Tivitra Gopalakrishnan from Cyberjoy Unimed. Today our group will be presenting our study entitled which is Bridging the Digital Divide in Global Trade, a comparative study of Singapore, Malaysia and Indonesia. As digital technologies continue to transform the global economy, digital infrastructure has become increasingly important in determining countries' participation in international trade. Through this study, we aim to examine how difference in digital development influence trade participation and competitiveness among these three Asian countries. So now let's move on to the introduction. Okay, today international trade is no longer limited to physical goods, digital service, e-commerce, and cross-border data flows have become major drivers to economic growth. However, not all countries benefit equally from digitalization. Differences in internet infrastructure, digital literacy, and technology accessibility have created what is known as the digital divide. This digital inequality affects countries' ability to participate effectively in international trade. Therefore, this study has three objectives. First of all, to examine how digital inequality affects trade participation. Second, to compare the digital trade readiness of Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia. And last of all, to identify the barriers and propose suitable policy recommendation to bridge the digital divide.
To support this study, we applied two theories. The first theory is the Britian theory of comparative advantage. According to this theory, countries that possess better technology and productivity can specialize in certain sectors and gain advantage in international trades. The second theory is the Hacker or Lean model. This model states that countries with a certain factor of production tend to have greater competitive advantage. In today's digital economy, digital infrastructure itself has become an important factor of production. Therefore, countries with better digital infrastructure enjoy greater access to e-commerce, digital service, and global market.
Slide 4 Methodology. This study uses a qualitative comparative approach to examine the difference among Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia. These countries were selected because they represent different levels of digital development within Southeast Asia. Secondary data used in this study were obtained from reliable international organizations, including the World Bank, World Trade Organization, International Monetary Fund, and the United Nations. This source provides information regarding internet penetration, infrastructure quality, and digital trade participation, allowing us to make accurate comparisons among the three countries.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muayyad and today I want to present about the Singapore analysis. Singapore is widely recognized as one of the world's most digitally advanced economies. In 2025, internet penetration reached approximately 95.8%, supported by extensive broadband infrastructure and nationwide 5G coverage. In addition, strong government policies and digital transformation initiatives have encouraged business and SMEs to adopt digital technologies such as cloud computing, artificial intelligence, and e-commerce platforms. As a result, Singapore enjoys strong participation in global digital trade and possesses a competitive advantage in attracting investment and expanding international business activities.
Malaysia occupies an intermediate position between highly developed and emerging digital economies. Government initiatives such as My Digital and have contributed significantly to improving internet accessibility and digital readiness. Internet penetration reached approximately 92%, where e-commerce activity continue to contribute significantly to the economy. However, Malaysia still faces several challenges. One of the main issues is digital gap between urban and rural areas, particularly in suburban and Sarawak, where internet accessibility remains relatively limited. Despite these challenges, Malaysia continues to strengthen its position in regional and international digital trade.
Next, Indonesia represents the largest digital market in Southeast Asia. In 2025, internet penetration reached approximately 80.7%, equivalent to more than 229 million users. Digital platforms such as Tokopedia, Shopee, and Bukalapak have helped many SME participate in digital trades. However, Indonesia continues to face significant challenges due to its archipelagic geography. The country's vast geographical landscape makes infrastructure development costly and difficult. In addition, differences in income level and digital literacy contribute to uneven digital development across regions. As a result, digital trade activity remain concentrated mainly in urban settings.
So now this table summarizes the difference in digital trade readiness among the three countries. Singapore records to the highest internet penetration rate and possesses very high quality digital infrastructure. It also has a very small rural urban digital gap and strong SME digital adoption. Malaysia performs relatively well and demonstrates strong participation in digital trade. However, regional inequality remains one of the key challenges affecting equal access to digital opportunities. Meanwhile, Indonesia shows growing potential due to its large population and digital market. Nevertheless, infrastructure accessibility and geographical challenges continue to hinder digital inclusiveness. So overall, these differences are influenced by factors such as economic development, government policies, population distribution, and geographical conditions. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Slide 9. Internet penetration graph. This graph compares internet penetration rates among the three countries. Singapore records the highest rate at 95.8%, followed closely by Malaysia at 92%, where Indonesia records 80.7%. This finding indicates that stronger internet connectivity supports higher digital readiness and enables business to participate more effectively in international trade.
In this part of the assignment, I want to present about the rural-urban digital gap. This graph highlights the differences in digital inequality. Singapore records the smallest digital gap because infrastructure is distributed relatively evenly across the country. Malaysia experiences a moderate gap, particularly in remote areas such as Sabah and Sarawak. Indonesia records the largest gap due to geographical barriers and uneven economic development. These findings suggest that internet availability alone is insufficient. Equal access across all communities is equally important to ensure inclusive participation in digital trade.
Although Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia are at different stages of development, they share several similarities. Firstly, all three countries recognize digitalization is an important driver of economic growth and trade competitiveness. Secondly, governments actively promote digital transformation through various policies and initiatives. However, there are also significant differences. Singapore is due to its advance in infrastructure and the long-term digital strategies. Malaysia continues to progress steadily, but it still faces regional inequalities. Indonesia processes e-commerce markets potential but face greater infrastructure and accessibility challenges.
About the policy recommendations, based on our findings, we propose 3 policy recommendations. First, government should strengthen digital infrastructure through public-private partnership to improve connectivity, especially in rural areas. Second, countries should develop secure digital payment ecosystem to facilitate cross-border transaction and encourage SME participation. Third, government should invest in digital literacy program and training initiatives to equip entrepreneurs and businesses with the skills needed to compete in the digital economy. This measure will help reduce digital inequality and promote more inclusive global trade.
Next is despite this recommendation, several challenges may affect implementation. These include high infrastructure costs, cybersecurity threats, and difference in technological readiness among population. Therefore, collaboration among governments, private sector, education institutions, and international organizations such as the World Bank and WTO is essential. Through according efforts, this country can strengthen digital inclusion and improve participation in global trades.
Conclusion. In conclusion, our study shows that digital development plays an increasingly important role in international trade. Singapore leads with advancing infrastructure and strong digital capabilities. Malaysia continues to progress steadily, where Indonesia still faces structural challenges related to geography and accessibility. Overall, reducing the digital divide is essential to ensure more inclusive participation in global trade and to promote sustainable economic growth. Thank you.